Hello, it's Karen McDermott-Rolfe, Independent Creative Memories Advisor. Today I'm working on an Easter layout, and I'm going to be creating some of my own embellishment pieces to go on my layout. And I'm going to be using a variety of Creative Memories tools to make my embellishments, and I thought that you might like to watch along as I create some of these pieces. My first piece is going to be an Easter bunny, and I'm going to be using a pattern that was shared by Creative Memories in 2005. So yes, this idea has been around for a while. It's a cute idea. I believe it was originally created by Becky Peel. She created a whole set of little animals using the custom cutting system from Creative Memories. So this is her pattern for creating the bunny. We're gonna need our custom cutting system with the smallest and the medium circle cutting pattern and the smallest and the medium oval cutting patterns. You're gonna need your red and blue blades. You're gonna need a brown or black pen, some scissors, some tape runner adhesive, and of course your mat. And today I'm going to be using paper from the Spring Cottage collection to make my bunny. So I'm going to make a blue bunny using this light blue paper. So for the body of my bunny, we're going to use the medium circle pattern, and we're going to use the red blade. The important thing to remember here is with all of our cuts, we're going to be cutting on the inside edge on all of the cutting patterns, okay? So to conserve paper, I'm just going to go down here to my bottom corner, and I'm going to use this red blade to cut a circle from the medium circle cutting pattern. I will share these instructions on my blog too at karencrops.com. So we're going to just set him aside for now. For the head, we're going to need the medium oval and the red blade. So this is the medium oval pattern, and again the red blade on the inside edge. For the ears, we're going to need this same medium oval, and we're going to use the blue blade this time, and we're going to cut two ovals to use for the two ears. Again, using that inside edge on the medium oval pattern and the blue blade. So there's a little ear, and we're going to get another ear. There was a similar bunny pattern shared on the Creative Memories blog a few years ago. It might have been just a year or two ago even. I'd have to look it up, but it's very similar to this. For the feet, we're going to need the small oval, and we're going to use the red blade, and we're going to cut two of those. So we have the smallest oval and the red blade on the inside edge. Okay, for his arms, we're going to use the medium oval and the blue blade. And we're going to cut this in half lengthwise to be part of the arms. So just this long way here, I'm going to use my microtip scissors and just give it a cut. For the hands, we're going to use the small circle pattern, and we're going to use the blue blade. We just need to cut one of these, as we'll cut this in half also. So that was the smallest circle with the blue blade, and I'm going to just cut that in half. I'm going to use a little bit of white cardstock now for the inside of the ears. And I'm going to use the smallest oval and the blue blade. And I'm going to cut two of these. So very tiny pieces. Then we need to make a nose for our bunny. I'm going to use the sheet of designer paper that's in the Spring Cottage collection. I'm going to use the brown side here. And for my nose, I'm going to use the smallest oval on the blue blade. Okay, we have all of our pieces now, so let's see if we can assemble him. I'm going to be using the repositional tape, but the precision point glue pen might be a good option for this also. So this largest circle is the body, and the largest oval is the head. So I'm just going to put a little bit on and put it like that. These little pieces that I cut in half are the arms. And when I tape him down to my page, you know, all of the pieces will be have some more adhesive on them to hold it all together a little better. So the arms kind of go back there like that. And as I work, I might reposition it a little bit to get the proportions better. I'm taking these little half pieces now, and these are the hands. And now we have some ovals, and I have to decide which one were the ears and which one were the feet. So I think the larger one are the ears. So let's put those on the bunny. It'll look more like a bunny now once we have the ears. Whoops. And then these other ovals are the feet. And like I said, I'm going to, since I'm using the repositional tape, I just kind of move some of the pieces a little bit to get the spacing a little better. These white pieces were the center of the ears. And then the brown piece was his nose. And now to have them all come together, I'm going to use the brown dual tip pen. I'm going to use the fine tip on it. And I'm going to draw in some features on his face and then do some outlining also. And then everybody needs some whiskers, doesn't he? We have this little face, and now what's really going to help him too is we're going to just do some outlining. So I'm going to draw some lines and then some little hash marks every so often with the lines. Kind of gives it a little bit of a rustic look. You can see how the outlining really makes a big difference. I always say the pen detail usually makes a big difference. For the inside of the ear pieces, I'm just going to use little dash marks. There we go. And maybe some little dots there. My line just got a little crooked because I ran over the piece that was underneath it. So you might consider drawing on all these little marks before you tape the pieces together too. see, kind of put some little fingers on him. Let's do a little hash mark there, how about? Following this original idea pretty closely. I believe the bunny that was shared on the Creative Memories blog had little centerpieces on the feet here for like the soles of his feet. So that could be something you could add if you'd like. I believe she also added little heart punch outs in the center of the soles of the feet and used a small heart punch out also for the nose. So that was just kind of a different variation on the bunny. Just adding a couple more little pen details there. And I think I have him all put together. So let me put him on some white and maybe you could see him a little better. And I'll be sharing some close-up photos on my blog with these instructions. So didn't he come together really sweet? So I think in addition here for an Easter layout, it'd be really sweet on a baby layout also. Also, I was going to include some Easter eggs on my layout. So again, I'm using a sheet here from the Spring Cottage collection. It's kind of this watercolor, water washed look. And I just wanted to point out one of my favorite cutting patterns is the gemstone pattern. When you buy the gemstones, you get the diamond pattern and you get two heart sizes, a larger one and a smaller one. The smaller one is great for cutting photos into a heart shape. I use the hearts a lot because, you know, I like to make pretty pages. I have two little granddaughters and the hearts always worked well with photos of my granddaughters. Also, we get a hexagon shape here in the center of the largest heart, and then we get an egg shape here in the center of the small heart. So that's another reason to buy the gemstones also. So I thought that this watercolor kind of washi was really pretty. It looked like a robin's egg with the blue and kind of the mottled tone of it. So I'm just going to cut out a couple eggs. I'm not really sure exactly what my finished layout's going to look like yet. So after I finish the pieces, I'm going to play and put together a layout, and I'll be sharing that finished photo with you all on my blog again at karenkrups.com. I'll just start with 3 eggs, and then I'm going to see, you know, how my layout comes together. But just again to show you those little pieces. Okay, so I might have some eggs. And then I thought I might also include an Easter basket on the layout in some capacity. So this is a take on the apple basket that I shared with you guys in the fall. If you recall back in September, I believe, when the Hello Autumn collection came out. And we had those arches frame border punch came out, and I thought that the piece looked like a handle of a basket, and we made some little apple baskets. At that time we also had the Apple Border Maker cartridge came out, and we filled the little baskets with apples. So I thought we could do the same thing to make an Easter basket. So using again this sheet of brown paper from the Spring Cottage collection, I used the arches, and I just punched one arch, and then I also used the retired basket weave punch, and I made some punches with the basket weave because that would look like the material there of a basket. If you don't have that punch, but you have some of our other kind of lattice scallopy kind of punches, you might be able to substitute these to create the same kind of basket look with. And if you don't have this arches punch either, you could create some handles by just using your oval patterns and cutting out some narrow little strips of alternating with your blades. So you would cut, use the blade that cuts the furthest away from the pattern first. So in this case it would be the blue blade. And then use next the red blade. That's going to cut closest to the pattern. Now this might not be the exact scale we want or anything, but I just did it just to show you how you would use the custom cutting system to make a handle for a basket. So you would get a piece like this, and of course, depending on which pattern you use, and what blades, and if you cut on the outside or the inside, will determine the arc there of your handle. Okay. But I was going to use, like I said, this one. Let me just cut out these pieces. You could use your trimmer, or as I'm doing with my scissors. I'm going to need to trim that down a little bit. I just have my personal trimmer here. So let me see what the width of this handle is. Will determine the width of the basket. So it's about 2 inches. So I'm going to cut this basket piece down to 2 inches also. And then the handle, and I'm just going to cut that off and clean it up a little bit. And I'm going to want a background for my basket, and I think I'll go ahead and I'm just going to use this paper here. I'll use the back side of it, and I do need to cut off a 2-inch piece then. I was just trying to think of how I could most efficiently use my paper. Let's see if this will be a big enough piece. I'm going to need to trim him down to size, but I thought I would either lay the dark on top of the light, or I would use the light side and put the light side on top of the dark. So I think that will depend on my finished layout and the other materials that I'm going to use. But it did look like I can use this piece here. I can cut this into a 2-inch piece for my basket. And that looks like it's a little less than 1.5 inches. And then I'd have my handle on, and it would look something like this. So let me get the white paper back again. So that could be one way to make an Easter basket too for the layout. Alrighty, everybody, I'm going to hop off now, and I'm going to continue working on my layout and get my layout finished so I can share that with you. Thanks for visiting with me today. Bye-bye now.